Hello and welcome back to Arlene Knits. Today we're going to learn how to make a cabled rib knit top inspired by these beautiful autumn colors, compliments of the beautiful yarn of Lamina from Germany. I opted for the Merida. It is a blend of wool and silk, and I went down for number 16 Bordeaux, a beautiful burgundy color. So we ordered that. It took, I think, a day or 2 days to come from Germany to the Netherlands. Here, Billy is receiving it for me, and oh my god, it is so luxurious. This yarn recommends we use a needle size 2.5 to 3.5, so I went for a 3. And I grabbed a short cord, a medium cord, and a long cord. To get going, we're going to use our short cord, and I have cast on 100 stitches for the neck. From here, we simply knit in the round for approximately 8 centimeters until we are ready to fold it over and have a little double knit collar. Once we are satisfied with the length, knowing that we're doubling it over, we're going to add a little stitch marker and we're going to begin to pick up stitches from the other side and knit them into the existing stitch. You can then recount your stitches and make sure you have the exact same number you started with. That was 100. And then we're going to grab 3 more stitch markers and we're going to portion it out in the following counts. You're going to knit 5 at a marker, knit 45 at a marker, knit 5 at a marker, knit 45, and you should arrive at your last marker. So you're now in the following proportions: 5 by 45 by 5 by 45. 5 will be your arm and 45 will be the torso. We can then knit the next round. Just simply knit. It creates a little dip between the neck and the rest of the yoke. And then we're going to go into a raglan's increase, where you knit the front and the back of the stitch before and after each marker. If you're unsure how to do this, I have a tutorial called How to Cable Knit for Beginners in my curated list of videos. Please go ahead and find it. In the description, I have a timestamp where I go into excruciating detail on how to do this. Following that, we're now going to divide our knit pattern into the following proportions. You're going to pull 2 stitches, knit 3 stitches, pull 2 stitches, knit 3 stitches for this next entire row. Please include the raglan's increase at every stitch marker. Then we're going to go into the cabled rib knit pattern. It is a 4-row repeat pattern. For the first row, you pull 2 stitches. Note where your stitch marker is, you will be increasing stitches. So this pattern is going to shift along the way. You're going to have to use a bit of intuition, a little bit of intermediate knowledge for this. So not a beginner pattern. All right, so we pull 2 stitches, and then for the rib cable, we're going to bring out a darning needle. You're going to pop the first stitch onto your darning needle, hold it forward, knit a stitch, bring your held stitch back onto your knitting needle, knit that stitch, and then knit the next stitch. Row 2 is pull 2 stitches across the cable. You're simply going to knit all 3 stitches, pull, knit, no cabling needed for row 2. For row 3, you're going to pull 2 stitches, knit 1 stitch. The second stitch you will pop onto your darning needle and you will hold it back. Then you will knit the next stitch, bring your held stitch back onto your needle and knit that stitch. Pull 2 stitches, repeat. Row 4 is a repeat of row 2, so that is simply pull over your pull stitches and knit all 3 cable stitches, no cabling required. Continue increasing your yoke until the increased line, the little raglan increase, reaches from the point of your collarbone until a comfortable point under your armpit. For me, this measurement is approximately 8 inches. It could be different for you. You're then going to grab another pair of small circular needles and you're going to knit the arms over onto the circular needles and keep the torso on the medium length needles. I personally prefer to then knit out the rest of that skein and then come back to my arms and knit them out. For this particular pattern, I have used 50 grams, so that's one skein for each arm. That does not include the cuffs. That does produce a slightly cropped arm, and it's a small. I also required to pick up a few stitches. I think it was about 4 stitches in the actual nape of the armpit area in order to keep my pattern continuous. You may need to do the same. You can then just continue back with that 4-row repeat, little cable rib knit pattern into the arm, knit out your whole skein or 2 skeins, however long you would like it to be, and keep going, until you think it's long enough. We're then going to decrease to make little cuffs. I decreased these wrists down to 78 stitches. I would say that produced a medium-sized cuff. I could have gone maybe a bit smaller, but I do have particularly small wrists, so maybe 78 is a safe number for you. And after that, we went into a 1-by-1 rib knit. I knitted out the cuff for 20 rows. I think I could have gone a bit longer as well, but I may have been a little impatient. That being said, I love how this top turned out. Anyway, once we are happy with how long the cuff is, we are going to cast off with elasticated thread. To do that, you're going to trim off your yarn and you're going to tie the elasticated thread at the exact base of that yarn, so that the next stitch that you make will go directly into the elasticated yarn. You're going to turn your work around so that you are now knitting back in the direction you just came from, and you're going to slip 1 stitch before you start. Then you knit, cast off using your elasticated thread. Doing it this way just hides those stitches slightly. You can then come back to your torso and continue to knit it out until you are satisfied with how long it is. I think I used a total of 3 extra skeins, so that's about 150 grams. It could have been more, I'm not sure. But yeah, so just knit it until you're happy with how long it is. And when you get there, you can go over to a 1-by-1 rib and again knit until you are satisfied with how long the waistband is. I made mine 15 rows. Again, I think I could have gone a little longer, but also again, I think this top is perfect. So, use your discretion. You can then trim your wool and add your elasticated thread, and we can begin our elasticated cast off again. When you get to the end of the elasticated cast off, you can trim it off, pull it out, and then we're going to tie the 2 parts that are furthest away from each other together to try and pull that in a little bit. And you can then turn it around and you can work those loose ends back into the band so you can't see them. Turn your project inside out, finish off all of your loose ends as well. And this is how it turned out. As you can see, I've got a slightly cropped arm, but I actually like that. I don't know about you, but I do my own housework, so Wet sleeves is an absolute nightmare. I like it just like this. The waistband, again, could have been maybe a little longer, but it's just beautiful. What a luxurious top. It looks stunning. I cannot wait to wear it. I hope to see you in the next tutorial. Please like, share, subscribe, comment if you like this, and I'll see you soon. Love ya.